tong storm. Oh my God. Oh my God, ang storm. Okay, guys.
I think we should probably get down.
Hey everyone, strong earthquake in the Philippines. People felt it. People were running on the streets. Damage reported because it was very shallow. Initially, they said it's 7.3, then it was 7.0. It seems that it's somewhat between 6.9 and 7.0. That's what is reported. And it struck off the coast of the central Philippines. And it has knocked out power in some areas as well. The epicenter is off the northern tip of Cebu Island and near Bogo. That's a city of more than 90,000 people. So a densely populated area is the area where this epicenter is centered. That's what the Institute of Volcanology and Seismology told us, the Philippine Institute. And they expect a lot of damage and they expect a lot of aftershocks. And we've already had quite a few aftershocks over magnitude 5 already. 5.0, 5.2, 5.3, so the list goes on and they keep coming. So the institute, the Philippine Institute, has urged residents in the provinces of Cebu, Leyte, and Biliran to stay away from the coast due to, they call it, a minor sea level disturbance. So this doesn't sound like a terrifying tsunami, but they said be on alert for unusual waves. And even only like 3 feet, 4 feet tsunami can do a lot of damage and can cost you your life. But after the tremor, I want to make that clear, there was no tsunami threat. That's what the Pacific Tsunami Warning Center has told us. And the governor of Cebu has said we're still assessing the damage and it could be worse than we think. And they're asking for aid. We already know that several buildings have collapsed. A church has collapsed. Cebu provincial government said a commercial building and unfortunately a school in Bantayan has collapsed. And a number of village road is also already confirmed that it has damaged. There could be people trapped beneath these collapsed buildings. That's what provincial rescue officials are telling the news agencies. And they don't know yet how many people are missing. U.S. Geological Survey has recorded at least 4 earthquakes of magnitude 5.0 or higher in the area following the first tremor. And firefighters are telling us in the town of San Fernando that they felt the quake at the fire station. And there's also a video of a live streamer or influencer. It seems he's sitting at a bar live streaming and then the shaking starts. So we see him like, what's happening, right? So you see that this is shaking quite a bit. And the resort town of Bantayan, a resident reports, and that town is near the epicenter, that he was at the town square near the church when the quake struck. And he said, I heard a loud booming noise from the direction of the church, and then I saw rock falling from the structure. Luckily, it seems nobody got hurt, but the church is doomed, unfortunately. He said, I was in shock and in panic at the same time. My body couldn't move. He was like, we call this, in Germany, we call this Schockstarre. It's like you're frozen. Shock freezing is the translation. And then he says, I was just there waiting for the shaking to stop. So the Archdiocese Shrine of Santa Rosa de Lima, that's a church in Bantayan, a town in the Cebu province. They said the structure had partially collapsed. Power also went out in Bantayan. And the Philippines, yes, they receive a lot of earthquakes and a lot of volcanic eruptions, unfortunately. Nearly daily earthquakes, that's a normal thing. And they just had a powerful magnitude 7 earthquake in July 2022 that led to the loss of at least 5 people and has injured 60 others. Then in December 2023, another large earthquake, at least ending one person, and has forced thousands to evacuate. But let's have a look at all these fault lines in the Philippines. What is the culprit? Who did this, so to speak? So this shallow, strong earthquake was caused by the movement of the Philippine fault zone. You see that here on the map, and it's along the central Leyte fault in the Visayas. So you see that fault line here. This is the culprit. This is what has caused this earthquake. The Philippine fault zone itself is really quite large. It's 1,200 kilometers long. That's roughly 900 miles long. Research indicates, when it comes to the central Leyte fault, that these segments in Leyte are characterized by usually aseismic creeping that is basically a slow, continuous movement of this fault. And usually only moderate historical earthquakes, in contrast to the larger earthquakes with magnitude 7 and higher that occur along the fault segments in Luzon and Mindanao. So in the past 400 years, the central Leyte fault, or the segments in Leyte, they have produced only moderate earthquakes. So 6.9, or how they have first had it 7.3, it's quite significant for this area. So this aseismic creeping, what this fault there does, it's comparable to what the San Andreas fault in California does. And of course, we're not surprised. This is the Pacific Ring of Fire again. The Philippines are located on the Pacific Ring of Fire. Tectonic plates are moving, and that's why stress is accumulating at the Philippine fault zone. And then it's released during these earthquakes, unfortunately. And interestingly enough, still this should not come as a surprise, because back in 2018, the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology has warned of a possible strong earthquake in the central Leyte area because it had not produced significant shaking in more than 100 years. They said there are movements, but very weak since the 1900s until the present. We don't know when the major earthquake will happen, but people have to be aware. So they have asked the local government to relocate houses within fault lines to prevent the serious loss of lives and serious damage to properties. So much going on, guys, all over the world. I have just released a video about the supervolcano in Naples, Italy, with more than 6 million people. It's not along the Pacific Ring of Fire, but the road along the volcano is basically bubbling and boiling. The volcano's coming through infrastructure, and they're still not evacuating. Interesting video. It's here in the end screen. Check it out. Have a look. Thanks for watching. Like, hype, and subscribe, guys. If you want to support the channel, in the description, buy me a coffee and keep me going. Thank you for your supers. Hi to all my members. Click the join button to support the channel with a membership. And I see you here in the next one.